So, other David, do you have video? Do you have audio? Oh, he has no video. Okay. All right. So, intimate. Okay, here comes Kevin. Well, we'll wait another minute or so and see if there's a people coming a little bit late. Kevin, you made it.
Hi, good to see you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hi. Lavinia, welcome.
Steven, how are you?
Good.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just want to mention the half-day retreat with my good friend Don Coleman um, that will be live in person at the Madison Taiji Center and will also be available on Zoom. And as of now, we have 26 people signed up, and all of them are in person except for just a couple. So I think the capacity, we're looking at the capacity of about 34 or something like that. So if you're on the fence, you might want to reconsider. Unless you want to be on Zoom, then that's limitless. Tonight we're going to continue our focus, I should say, on the Dantians. So first on Valentine's Day, we did the middle Dantien, the heart center. And then the week after that, we did the lower Dantien, the earthly gate. And tonight we'll focus on the upper Dantien, which is in the head. Let me just check this chat here. Okay, no problem. All right. So in the Taoist, the ancient Taoist arts, which they call internal alchemy, the life force energy moves through these centers, and the centers are sort of like reservoirs for holding this energy. The thing to, I think, keep in mind is that in this system, the energy that's lower down is dense, and the energy gets progressively finer, the life force energy, as you go up. So it's likened to water. So, the the temperature's cold, the water is ice, it's heavy, it's dense. If it's warmer, it's water and it's flowing. And if it's warmer yet, it's steam. And this is invisible, diffuse sort of presence. And refining the qi is a lot of what these Qigong practices are about. So the upper Dantian is said to be, there's discussion about it, but said to be either in the middle of the brain and or between the eyebrows. So just the head area for sure. And then the crown of the head, that's referred to as the heavenly gate. So this gets into a very complex cosmology where the heavenly qi, or the qi of boundlessness, is above, and the earthly qi, the ancestral qi, is below. And so we can move this qi through the system. And in utilizing the crown, the teaching is that when physical death occurs, all of the energy, all the life force energy exits through the top of the head and rejoins sort of the heavenly, what they would call the heavenly chi, or the boundless chi. And so Buddhism, this would be form becomes emptiness. And then in birth, then emptiness becomes form. And so this whole life cycle is the macrocosm of which the body is the microcosm. So this is, we'll practice the microcosmic orbit because what the teaching is that we first have to ground. It's like a battery. So we first have to ground in the earthly chi, in the physical, and then we can move up into the metaphysical. And that it's actually not a good idea to start at the top. That'd be like trying to build the third floor of a building before you built the first two floors. So it's this whole progression. And so the upper Dantian can only be taught in connection with the body, with the whole body, the rest of the body. Okay, so that makes sense. All right. So uses for the upper Dantian. This is not considered to be the thinking mind or sort of our intelligence. This is primordial. So if we want to connect with sort of boundlessness, or with spirituality, or with a person who has died, or with realms that are not material. They're very into the multiverse. 2,600 years ago, that was big for them. So if we want to connect with these non-physical realms, then that's the gateway for that. Okay, I hope that's not too esoteric. It gets way more esoteric than that, so I'm going to stop now. Okay, so, and welcome to the people on YouTube, and let's get started. So this explains why when we begin, we start out standing and keeping the bottoms of the feet almost always connected down to the earth. Because no matter where we're focusing, and the body is a microcosm of this journey of life, wherever we're focusing, we need to be grounded. Okay. And so the beginning, the focus is on the out breath, and the eyes are turning to look downward with the out breath. So we're dropping down through the body, and then using our imagination and our extended sense of feeling down into the earth. Okay. So this activates the bottoms of the feet, and also the perineum. We move our attention down. And then imagining and feeling, so imagining in place and feeling what it would be like to extend down into as roots into the ground, like a tree. Okay. Okay, good, good. And now that we've connected down into that and dropped these roots down into it, now we're able to bring up the attention up into the body. And this would be with the in-breath. So bringing the attention up into the lower dantian. And we let the hands expand out a little bit with the belly. So this lower energy center can be experienced as sort of diffuse, sort of like light, or it can be quite dense. Or it can move between diffuse with the breath and then into something more dense. And this is in the middle of the body, 2 inches below the navel. Okay, and then bringing in the breathing. So we're breathing in from the earth. So the in breath comes from the earth and up into the belly. And out breath extends out. So in breath, bringing up the earth, and then out breath, just radiating out from the belly. And the ancient Taoists not only were doing this same practice, but they were also revering the ancestors as they did it. So the ancestors would be our DNA, but it would also be the teachers of these practices. So our spiritual ancestors. Okay, very good. And dipping the knees, so bringing up now to the heart area. Now we're creating this vertical column now, the sort of the light in the heart, the light in the belly, and then down in the earth, all lined up. And we're breathing from below up into the heart, lungs, and then out. Okay, and dipping the knees, and then up to the upper dantian. You can put one hand in front of the forehead and the other hand behind the head. And we're breathing up from the earth into the brain and then radiating out. Okay, so there are 4 centers lined up. Okay. Okay, very good. And dipping the knees again and send the hands up, 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 and reach up, stretch. Okay, and now we're breathing up through the whole body. And the out breath, we're sending it up into the up into the sky. Okay, very good. So now we've made this connection from Earth all the way up to the universe. Okay. And now as we bring the arms down, now we can breathe down from above and down into the earth. Okay, so this is tree and spring. So here's the whole cycle. So slowly in breath, bringing it up. Out breath, extending. In breath, bringing it down. Out breath, extending. Okay, let's do a few more. Let's do two more. Breathing up and up into the universe, and then breathing down and down into the earth. Okay. Okay, and so this is also called balancing yin and yang. So the earth, that's the yin energy, and the sky, that's the yang energy, and we're mixing them because remember it's earth, heaven, human, and so the human is putting together earth and heaven, and then those energies flow through the body. Okay. So we can passively feel the breath, and we can also actively direct, using the breath, we can direct attention. So when we say breathing up from the earth, breathing into the body, of course, we're still breathing air in the normal way, but we're using the rhythm of the breath, the power of the breath to move our attention. And attention is an energy. It's a kind of energy. And that's what moves the universal life force energy through the body. So it's just a figure of speech to say breathing up from the earth or breathing down from the sky. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and bow to the directions. So this is recapitulating, the same sort of thing. So first we're grounded. And now dipping the knees, this comes up from below and form this, the left and right come together. So bow to the east. And to the south. West. North. Okay. And then above. So extend the arms infinitely long. And then we're bringing that down and then touching the earth below. And then within. So the macrocosm is all of those directions. And then the microcosm of the small universe is within. Okay. And so this is probably the most fundamental and maybe important Qigong practice in Qigong. And so let's just use our hands. So in breath, just dominant hand, out breath. And alternate hands. And then both at the same time. So this is sort of cycling the earth chi and the heavenly chi within the body. And we're pointing with the fingers, pointing toward the spine. Yeah, let's reduce the movements. So when we assume this position again, we also want to be aware of the upper dantian. So these three are within the body, and then the two more below and above. And so this aligns this personal body with the universe, with the movement of form dissolving into boundlessness and boundlessness coalescing into form. And the breath, that's what's literally happening. So there are ancillary points too. So right in the center of the palm, those are little dantians, and then in the same place in the feet, behind the balls of the feet a little bit. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay, let's go ahead and loosen up the head and neck. So what they teach in Qigong is you need the body to be loose. If it's tense and tight, then what the medical Qigong says that the Qi can't flow easily through the body. I think that probably the easiest and most efficient way to, if you just want to relax the whole body, is with Trembling Mountain. So now let's go into Tree and Autumn, and it's working with exactly the same things, but just feel the difference. So dipping the knees, so in breath. Okay, palms are facing down now, out breath. Okay, now this one, we're bringing down the energy of the universe, the sun, the moon, the stars, bringing that down through the head and all the way down through the body and down and out into the earth. And then we're repeating that downward. Okay, feel the difference in this. Let's do one more. Okay, I just noticed that. Now let's do Tree and Spring a few times and just notice the difference. So this time we're pointing into the body. So Tree and Spring is very much about the in-breath, isn't it? And bringing up and then releasing out. And one more. Okay, now Tree and Autumn. This is more about the out breath. Okay, last one. Okay. And then just find the vertical. Okay, so this column extends from way down the earth through the up, enclosing the body all the way up into the universe. Now, one helpful image is this. So the spine, is like a ladder. And then if we just, with imagination, extend that ladder so that it goes way down and way up. Okay. And the ladder is alternating black and white. So this is yin and yang. Okay, and now stretch the ladder a little bit with the in-breath. And relax. So we're stretching it upward and downward. It's getting longer. It's kind of elastic. Okay, very good. Okay, okay, very good. All right, let's go ahead and bring up our stool. And the suggested mudra is fingers touching thumbs. Okay, so just feel that alignment of the spine. Tuck the chin a little bit, then that orients the crown of the head in the proper place. And then, so breathe up from the earth and straight through the whole system up into the universe. Okay, so this is really, that we're doing tree and spring without moving. You can imagine moving if you want. So we breathe in, we breathe up into the throat or so around there, and then breathe out and shoot it up. So this is like a geyser or a bubbler, if you know, a drinking fountain. We're bringing it up, way up, and then it sort of just it's like a fountain. Then it comes down all around. Okay, and then we're creating this convection current, or so that the fountain comes down all around, and then it's breathed up again in the center. It's like a torus. And this is a very fundamental process in the body. So breathing up part way, and then breathing out the head. And then it all sort of gently rains down all around and creates a cycle. And so the Buddhists call this the breath body. So this is a body that's bigger than the physical body, that's created in rhythm with the breath. Not created, felt. Okay, so this system of tree and spring is being propelled by the breath, and not only includes central channel in the body, but the space all around the body. And then you can relax the breathing. You don't need to propel it anymore. It's just going by itself. Okay, you're just sitting in the middle of it. You can feel this as tingling in the skin and inside the body. And so the inside tingling is not separate from this area around the body, which is the descending energy of heavens that gets recycled. Now we can move our center of consciousness from inside the body. Usually it's in the head or somewhere, but that's where we live. We can also move that to the energy around the body. So we're surrounding the body with our attention. The body's breathing all by itself, as it always does. And our attention is bigger. Okay. And it's very, very fine. It's like it's non-physical, the attention. So this is the breath body. Now we can extend this attention out in all directions. We're letting go of the fountain now. And from the dantians, breathing out, radiating the attention out in all directions. And we don't have to push it. Just aware that it extends out. Okay, very good. Let's bring the attention back into the body, into the middle dantian. Just check that the lower dantian is still there, earth is still there. This kind of black and white axis, if you like, or red and white. To the upper dantian, and move our attention now into the head. And notice any sensations on the scalp or around the head. And with an out breath, then move the attention up, out the crown of the head, above the body, so that you can look down and the body is down there. It's sitting and breathing and you can feel it, and you're also above it. Still connected. Okay, good. And then turning the attention upwards. You can move the attention up and out. So, and this is the realm of the clouds, sort of this luminous sort of fog. Okay, And then there's rainbow clouds, rainbow fog, rainbow light. Okay, and from there, there's clarity. The body is way down there. It's just fine. And now we can move out from here and just relax. This very, very expanded sense of infinite space. You can zip down the body if you want to, check it, it's okay. And then you can go back up. So this space is a sense of limit, no limit. Infinite space in all directions. And the basic teaching is to just be comfortable here. It's very expanded. You can still access the field around the body, the breath body. You can still access the physical body. You can still even go down into the earth if you want to. And then back up. This is all consciousness. It's very, very, very big. So the infinite space has a kind of a texture, which is like the tingling in the body. It's still energy. Okay, and even getting bigger, this is infinite consciousness, so that it has the potential to take form. It's not, but it can. And this is the Wu Ji. This is the uncarved block. This is before the beginning. So we're at home in consciousness, and consciousness imbues everything. So we're still at home. Okay, very good. And when you're ready, you can sort of, with the out breath, come back down. And just sense this sitting body. It's still warm, still tingling, still alive. Sense down into the materiality of the bones and of the earth. So this is the whole panorama of Jing, Qi, and Shen. So heavy, lighter, and lighter forms of consciousness, literally forms that consciousness takes. This world is made up of forms that consciousness assumes, and all the forms are temporary. They're forms right now, but they're in process. then as we go up, the forms become finer and finer until we go way up. There's just the potential for form. So form can arise in these expanded states. Okay, very good. Just notice how you feel. Okay. So dropping down into the heart, then the middle dantian. So this one radiates outward, connecting to all beings, to all form, to people, animals, plants, minerals. That's the breath coming and going. So it's here where we interact with the forms of the world. Center of compassion. Okay, and then dropping down into the lower dantian. This goes back to our historical roots, back to the beginning of life, to the beginning of the planet, to the beginning of the universe. That's the doorway to that. And so the universe, according to the Tao, arose out of boundlessness. So it's a cycle. It seems vertical, and it's actually a cycle. So in breath, move the attention up the spine to the crown. Out breath, down the inside front of the body to the perineum. In breath, follow the eyes. Up the spine, down the inside front. Okay, so this is the movement of the universe within the body. So you can do this quickly or slowly. Start at the perineum, start with the in-breath. And then breathe normally and just move the attention up the spine, the inside of the spine. Reaches the crown of the head, then it'll come down the inside front at whatever rate you choose. Okay. Okay, and now you can stop propelling it. Just let the breath soften. And just let it move on its own. It's moving, it's moving kind of in this oval by itself. Till it just sort of becomes a field. At the crown, it connects up into the universe. At the perineum, it connects down into the ground. Okay, with the in-breath, bring the attention down from the universe and up from the earth. So we're sort of gathering this consciousness back into the body. Good. And if you like, you can put one hand on the chest, the other on the belly to help consolidate all of this in the body. Smile a little bit. Okay, let's take a few more breaths. Okay, very good. All right, loosen up. Okay, and let's clap our hands one time. May heat massage your facial muscles, eye sockets, temple, jaw. Okay, and then we're going to tap the kidneys, and this is said to consolidate the qi in the body, sort of massage the kidneys. Okay, so that's kind of an introduction. Just say that if you're doing sitting meditation or Qigong and you want to go up, be sure that you get grounded and rooted in the body and the breath first, and then sort of slowly move into, that expanded awareness. So normally our awareness is focused on a form. So it's the breath or the body or thoughts or emotions. But in this one, our focus is on formlessness. Okay, thank you for your practice. Thank you for your presence. And have a good evening. And if you want to stay and chat a little bit, I'll be here. Have a good night.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Good night. Good
All
night.
right. Good to see you.
I actually have a question to Stephen. Not a question, but just a comment. One of my goals and tasks is just consciousness of breath, right? It's so easy to get off that, but just anchoring in the breath. But when I find that the rhythm of my breath can be regular or unregular, and so when we perform motions that supposedly follow the breath, I sometimes do not follow that, 100% because, or else I'll be like, so what I do is I just try to remain conscious of my breath, and it's sort of like a 50-50 sort of, move my arms and sort of not imagine my breath, but sort of feel my breath out and upward as opposed to following the breath. Do you know what I mean? Because
I think so.
I'm still early in my practice, so it's sometimes the breath is more regular than other times, but that's generally how I go about it. Does that sound familiar?
No, it does. That's interesting. That's interesting, and I totally believe you. I think that's the way you're doing it is fine. Somebody once asked Thich Nhat Hanh at a retreat, we do all this following the breath in meditation. What happens when we die? And we're not breathing anymore, right? And he said, we continue to breathe in a different way. But that's all he said. So it sounds to me like, you have these two ways of breathing almost, the normal way. And then there's some other consciousness of coming and going does that make sense?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And it's sort of like it's the way I get through, because if I'm conscious of my breath, how I think a couple weeks ago, sometimes you gave it sort of different patterns of the breath, slow and fast, even, and so mine tend to be sometimes when I'm practicing, depending on how I am, sort of slower, like slow and not big at the same time. Just So and so my movements trying to track my movements with the form of my breath. It doesn't sound like a good experience that I'd want to do. So what I try to do is to be conscious of my breath and let that be, but to sort of extend myself and be aware of my breath at the same time.
Oh, that's
just so that I could,
yeah.
So that I can extend myself, right? So I just sort of I marvel at people who can, their breath naturally follows these movements, and then it's like mine. I can make it do that, but or I could let my breath be what it is and sort of just be conscious of that and move, or it just becomes a form of, and then it's like, okay, how do I want to do it? Do I want to go slow or fast, or so it's just
it sounds to me like you've done quite a lot of spiritual practice. Is that accurate?
I wouldn't say that. I think some people have natural gifts, and
there you go.
I think one of mine happens to be in that area.
Yeah, that I didn't want to say that, but yes, I think so too.
And so, and so I'm mindful of my biology, but aware at the same time.
Yeah. That's cool. That's great. You're the first person who said that, and it makes perfect sense to me. And the fact that you're aware of it and you're not trying to correct it or do something about it, and you can sort of live with both at the same time. That's a wonderful practice.
I just wanted to know if everyone else is doing this same thing, and what's I was just curious because this is how I'm doing it. It works for me, and it's like,
Well, it may be, you know, it may be that people aren't as articulate about it as you are, or
okay,
they're not as aware of it as you are,
okay,
or
okay,
they're just shy and they don't want to say anything, or, you know, who knows,
okay. All
right?
right, all
Yeah.
right, okay. I just
Oh,
want to run
cool.
that by you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
Uh,
That's great. Good to
that's
know.
that's where. Anyway, so
Okay.
good to see you. I'll see you next week. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. All right. Bye.
Have a good night.
You too.